Good afternoon, Alchemy and Magicers. Hi, everyone. How are you? Happy Magic Monday.
Happy Magic Monday. Hi, Lorna.
How are you, Christine?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm coming to you live from the beach here. So we got all natural going on.
Welcome
Letting it
to
all,
August.
yes,
Welcome to
welcome to
August.
August. Loving the summer.
Nice. So, our title today is What Really Makes the World Go Round? And there can be a lot of debate about this, but obviously, we have something specific we want to talk about, which is this whole notion of we are energy.
And we live in an energetic universe. And the relationship and what the importance of knowing that and living your life with that knowledge makes a difference, right?
Yeah. So, people kind of will give the woo-woo people a hard time, right? Your thoughts make your reality. And what is all that nonsense? And how can you say that? And, fortunately for us woo-woo people, the science is catching up with us. And
Indeed.
our thoughts really do make our reality. And the reason they do is because they're energy.
Right. So in many ways, more and more research coming in to catch up with what I guess traditional cultures, if we want to say, have known for thousands of years, right, is that our reality is really shaped by what we think and feel. That, in fact, our thoughts, in many ways, are energy themselves. They're actually electromagnetic equivalents that we're projecting out into this field, right? And this field, as we talked about, what is everything? And there's so many wonderful names for it. So whatever speaks to you, I like the word, universal intelligence, consciousness, right? It's the energy. Yes. But it certainly is hard to explain. But nonetheless, I think in some part of your life, if you reflect, what is this web of energy that holds everything together, right? That is beyond what we can see, think, and see with our five senses, right? And it's a really powerful notion to think that we're connected to it.
Right. And it's this notion that we are actually vibrating, and we use a lot of language around it. I mean, we've done Magic Mondays where we've talked about, you run at a temperature. That temperature is an energy. And so if you are amped up all the time, you're busy, 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 that's what you're putting out into the world. And that's what's going to be matched. You're going to run into a lot of other people that are busy, 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 and who do a lot of the same things you do, right? Whereas if you're kind of chill and you're laid back and you feel good and you're just like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, that's what's going to come back to you. Things are going to be easier if that's what you're putting out.
Yeah. Your thoughts are really the map of your reality, right? They create we give life to them. Because, if we think the same thoughts, they become these things called beliefs, right? And then our beliefs lead to certain choices. And those choices lead to certain behaviors. And those behaviors and actions lead to certain outcomes, i.e. our experience of reality, right? So it really does start from the internal understanding of what we're doing inside here rather than all the doing and doing and doing. So I like to say, when we know that our thoughts are that powerful, when we know that there is this incredible capacity to affect our physical experience by our thought alone, we have to be really picky with our thoughts and how we feel, right?
Right. And we need to remember that the universe doesn't recognize good or bad. Not right or wrong. The universe doesn't care what you're putting out. It's just by law going to give you back what you're getting. And so we can get into the philosophy of why do bad things happen to good people and all of those types of things. But when you realize that it's all coming from the way that you're feeling, the way that you're thinking, and what you're concentrating on. If you're focusing on a lot of negative things, you're going to see more of it. If you're focusing on a lot of positive things, you're also going to see more of that. And we do, as human beings, have this negativity bias. And for whatever reason, more of us are inclined to go down that negative rabbit hole. But this is why it's so important to change that and to change the neurological pathways to get yourself into a positive bent.
Exactly. And that's actually, Lorna, one of the things that's so exciting, right? So that is a good point. Let's talk about that for a second, because we people say, well, did I give myself cancer, or did that starving child, pick their, attract famine into their universe? What is that? How can that be good? How can that be positive? And again, at the end of the day, you could only believe that if you believe you're a victim. But if you believe the other piece of it, which is what we're saying, is the starting point. The starting point is, what do you get to choose and think, is how you determines how you feel, right? So how you're perceiving a certain situation, what your attitude toward yourself, right, even makes a huge difference in your life. So start from there, right? Start from that place of being the creator of your life and see what unfolds. It's different, right? Instead of life happening to you, what if you started to believe life was happening for you?
Yes. And when those very bad things happen, there's always opportunity for growth and learning. That is that part doesn't go away. We are here as, source beings. We are love. We are unconditional. We are all of those things. But we also are going to learn lessons to expand our consciousness and have experience, because again, the universe doesn't see good or bad. The universe sees experience and growth.
Exactly.
And even very, very horrific things, the most horrific things cause the most growth, really.
Right. Yeah, you can't have, and if everything was just sort of always the same and status quo, there would be no opportunity for change, for evolution. Mm-hmm. And I believe and have come to know that we're here right now to have as much experience as possible, right? And that every experience, like you said, if we approached as an opportunity, what is it that I need to learn here? Or what is it that's being, why is my attention going to this place right now? What is it that I need to think about more, right? That is really, again, taking your power back, coming from a different place.
Right. And I do also want to point out that, as we do this work and as we clear things out, right, we're dealing with a lot of blocks that might have been in us for decades, things that have gone back to childhood. And sometimes when we feel bad, when you understand that you attract these things, you can say, oh, did I attract this? But right. Sometimes it's the feelings are coming up from inside of you that you've been holding on to for so long, and you didn't actually attract them. You're now finally releasing them. Mm-hmm. And there's a difference. And so that's also important to understand, that right. It's not always one or the other, but there's a lot of things that we are still attracting, even though we don't understand we're attracting them, because they're inside of us and we aren't even acknowledging them.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not cut and dry, and it does get a little confusing, but there is an answer to all of it, and it all does follow the laws of the universe and these energetic foundational laws.
Yeah. And so it really, it's just a wonderful, I think, place to shift into for both the positive that you want to cultivate more and attract more and invite more into your life, as well as help you through those really particularly, confusing and difficult, times where you kind of feel like you're in this, why is this happening to me? Well, if you came from the place that's not why is this happening to me from that negativity, but why is this happening to you, and what is it that I can do, to shift or move through this? What is it that I need to work on more, right? And there's an opportunity there for growth and learning, and it's a way, that it's a beautiful thing when you realize that you're connected to something greater than this, limited sense of self that we sometimes walk around with.
Yeah. I saw a phrase the other day that said, we either evolve or we repeat.
Yeah.
And that's what that is, right? Because if it's running in us, if it's our energy, it's going to keep coming up in our lives. And then that's where we have the choice. How can I do this differently and get out of this pattern? Or how can I just repeat it and confirm to myself what I already believe, which is going to bring it back to me once again.
Yes, exactly. So yes, so we are energy. We are connected to a universal energy, and that's an amazing thing to think about. To move through your day to day, is that there is, I like to say, a divine reason or divine guidance that we have within ourselves. And I think our quality of our life, I like to say, is so dependent on our ability to nurture that relationship. Right, to really kind of tap into that capacity and hone it and get curious about it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And in our retreat, our worry into wisdom retreat in November, we're really going to talk about how worrying all the time is not what we're going for, right? Because the more we worry, the more we attract more to worry about, and how important it is to understand that, and then of course how to shift out of it. Because seeing it is not the end all be all, right? It's like you have to change the thought patterns.
Yes. And the good news is that when we learn the techniques to change those thought patterns and rewire, get new programming that serves us and, moves us towards what we really want and desire in life versus the old stuff, which we inherited, it keeps us, with our mental stumbling blocks. When we have all those tools and techniques, which we're so excited to share with you at this retreat, your brain naturally kind of rewires itself, and this stuff starts to happen automatically now. And that's the most amazing thing, is that all of it is always changeable, and it gets easier over time. That's what's so beautiful about it.
Great. And you get so excited, you end up like Lorna and Christine, and you just want to tell everyone about it.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Happy Magic Monday. I hope you're enjoying August, and we will see you next week.
All right. Take good care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.